Ayaan Hirsi Ali recently sat down with Richard Dawkins and was pressed about her newfound Christian faith. If you guys haven't been keeping up, Ayaan Hirsi Ali has been one of the leading voices in the atheist movement. She grew up Muslim, became an atheist. She was kind of in that mix of the new atheists with Dawkins and Hitchens and all those folks. And recently at the art conference, I was actually there in person at the art conference, she came out and proclaimed that she was now a Christian. Now, people thought, oh, this is a more utilitarian. She's a cultural Christian. She's not really believing these things. Well, the more she talks about it, the more we come to find out that she's a churchgoer now, that she isn't just taking these things as abstract archetype ideas, sometimes the way Jordan Peterson talked about. No, she seems to really believe some of this stuff. And so Richard Dawkins, oddly enough, kind of pressed her on this stuff.
Wow.
So this is footage taken from the conference.
So I think because you, and I know you very well, we've been friends for a long time. And in fact, in some ways, I think of you as a mentor. Until you're coming at this from a place of there is nothing. And what has happened to me is I think I have accepted there is something. And when you accept that there is something, there is a powerful entity. For me, the God that turned me around, I think what the vicar is saying no longer sounds nonsensical. It makes a great deal of sense.
Okay, so she's saying you're coming from this thinking there's nothing. I think there's something powerful, and it's not nonsensical. It actually makes more sense.
Sheesh.
So again, we're moving away from the abstract Christianity, Christian ethics, or utilitarian. Now we're getting into, no, I think there's something out there. And the fact that it seems like she's being platformed by Richard Dawkins.
A little bit. It's kind of crazy.
This is amazing.
It doesn't make a great deal of sense. It's also layered with the wisdom of millennia.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's led to the wisdom of millennium. Thousands of years of wisdom is what you're criticizing. Thousands of years of Christian virtue ethics. Thousands of years of how we've built this society that you think is nonsensical. Mm-hmm. She's cooking.
Like you, I didn't know faith in general, probably Christianity in particular. I don't do that anymore. And again, that's when humility comes into it. It doesn't seem, in 2024, after I went through that experience, it doesn't seem nonsensical to me, and it doesn't, I don't mock it. I think I've come down to my knees.
Wow.
To say, actually, those people who've always had faith have something that we who lost faith don't have.
Wow. Look at his body language. He pulls back. Yo.
And she's speaking to a room full of probably atheists.
A lot of secular
majority.
people at the least.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Like the woman who told me, where you've tried everything, you've lost hope, you've lost faith. Try it. Well, pray. I think just in that one word, there is so much wisdom and empowerment that I am suffering and I'm struggling to say, I'm just trying to say, no, it's not stupid.
It's not stupid. Okay, there's another clip right underneath it. What Dawkins, bless him with his DNA tie, really wanted to drill down was whether she thought it was all true. She still seems hesitant to move it outside the realm of the subjective, but she also fits that in a newfound humility springing from spiritual experience.
I find that Christianity is actually obsessed with love, and that the figure, the teaching of...
Wow!
So
they're clapping.
There's some Christians in there. There's definitely got some Christians.
She said, I believe Christianity is obsessed with love. Come on.
The teaching of Christ, as I see it, and again, I'm a brand new Christian, but what I find it as, which is the opposite of growing up as a Muslim, the message of Islam, the message of Christianity I get is that it's a message of love, it's a message of redemption, and it's a story of renewal and birth. And so Jesus dying and rising again, for me, symbolizes that story. And in a small way, I felt like I have died and I was reborn. And that story of redemption and rebirth, I think, makes Christianity actually a very, very powerful story for the human condition and human existence.
Okay, so she's still talking about it in the sense of like it's a story, it's a human condition. The tone was set by Hirsi Ali's obvious air of vulnerability, humility, and joy, but also how much affection and respect she obviously has for Dawkins. To paraphrase one bit, I used to mock Christianity, as you are doing now, my dear Richard, but I regret it. Wow. Let me pull up an article that she posted. I've been chopping it up a lot with Joseph Solomon about this kind of stuff, which has been really interesting. He might be coming on the channel.
Yes.
We're trying to sort through it, and he actually sent me this, and he's an interesting fellow, to say the least, in terms of his own journey with this stuff. And so, you know, a lot of people criticized her and just thought she was talking about this strictly from a utilitarian standpoint. So she posted this article. She went on like a Twitter tirade.
She on the Shroud of Turin?
Finally, I featured a guest essay by my friend Rupert Short, who wrote a defense of Christianity and the Christian way of life in modern society. So she tweeted this, and I read this article, and this is actually a pretty good article. There's a lot of really good parts in here. He's basically laying out like it's not like a Jordan Peterson approach to Christianity. I don't know Rupert's personal faith and like which stream he swims in, but it's definitely saying this is way broader and this is way more robust and powerful than people will give it credit for. And so she's posting this sort of stuff, and this is someone that's basically engaging with faith in the market and in the public square with a bunch of folks who don't believe, and how he's navigating these sorts of conversations. So this is interesting. So he basically says that the Christianity that they're criticizing is not the Christianity of history. So the Protestant fundamentalism on which the new atheists rely for plausibility is a new kid on the block in historical terms, owing much to culture wars in the United States. What's more, intellectual historians worth their salt will tell you that the discoveries of Newton, Galileo, Kepler, and Copernicus marked not so much a liberation from religious authority as a break with long dominant aspects of Aristotelianism, a move already triggered in the later Middle Ages. So he's basically getting at is that these, like any good historian is going to tell you that the advancements in science weren't a break from Christianity. They were in support of it. Secularists who upbraid the church over horrors such as the Crusades and the 17th century wars of religion are on solid ground, but they tend to overlook the huge role of the state in stoking strife. And even in the 17th century, violence increased in proportion to the amount of sovereignty claimed by the state. So he's saying people can say, well, these things were done that were bad, but like way more violence has been done when the state was running and the church was void.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway,
Sheesh.
Interesting stuff. I'm curious to hear more of her story. So yeah, I mean, I'm very curious how this conversation goes. What is her relationship like with her agnostic atheist friends? She clearly has a lot of adoration for Richard Dawkins. And so that's awesome. The fact that he's platforming her is awesome. The fact that there's still a warmness in a relationship is awesome. And I'm very, 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 very curious on where this goes. So yeah, shout out to her. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.